one of those that he gave. And so I interviewed him, and then I said, "Who else do you know?" And
Sure.
then he gave me your name. So it's just a networking thing that we've been going
How the
with.
world, man.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you about my research, and it's really interesting. Uh, it's kind of like what comes first, the chicken or the egg type of
Mhm.
situation. Because, for example, we want to say that we graduate the top-notch students, competent communicators, and so on and so forth. But then I started looking at it and the research, and I was like, "What's our measuring tool? Like, what are we doing? How do we know if we're graduating the right?" And they're like, "We actually don't know." And I was like, "I'll find out for you." So that's what I'm doing. My sabbatical research is trying to figure out what is it we need to do to get the students the most ready for the workforce. And ultimately, I'm looking for that it factor. Do you know what I mean by the it factor?
I do.
When you say they've got it, like I want them on my team, I want to work with them, like that's what I'm kind of looking for. So as I go through these questions, think about the best employee or the best coworker that you've had, and kind of answer the questions with them in mind. So that way, it kind of, I keep saying kind of, it is something that I can do training on and implement into the classes at BYU Idaho. So
Totally. Cool. Let's do it.
okay. All right. So there's kind of four stages that I want to go with. There's the finding stage, the interview stage, the trial stage, and then the promotional stage. And so I just got some questions on each one of those.
Okay.
So the first one is when you think about the best people your company has hired, how were they first discovered and noticed?
Somebody knew them, so
Okay.
their interview was based not on us having to go out and find them, but it was our own people that, or not just within the company, but our own contacts and networks, friends, family, whatever, that knew somebody that they thought would be a good fit. I think that's in large measure true.
Okay.
Um,
Well, and in theory, that's kind of like, okay, that's how it should work, right?
yeah, yeah, and
Yeah.
I would second to that. We have hired some people who have expressed interest in our reaching out to the general population, whether it be through, the LinkedIn's or the, I forget what the other ones are called, but some of those platforms.
Right.
Uh,
LinkedIn, Indeed, and those type of things.
yeah, but with those, you go through 50 people to maybe get lucky and find one that you
Right.
like. So I have made it kind of a practice to not do it that way.
Okay.
So that's why, in large measure, the people that I end up hiring, I try to go straight to the source. And funny enough, I'll tell you, I've even interviewed people. I haven't actually hired anybody this way, but I've interviewed some good people who I'm just out and about in the world, and it's like I ordered a hamburger from In-N-Out Hamburger, and I'm
Uh,
like, freaking fantastic. Here's my card. If you're interested, let's have a talk about maybe you coming to work for a law firm as opposed to working flipping hamburgers. Um,
I
I've
love
done
that.
I've done that with waiters. Like,
Mm.
you were freaking phenomenal. I saw you interact with those people over there. You did a great job keeping us, on pace and making us feel good without feeling like you were trying to earn your own tip. Do you want to, I'm always looking for good people. I don't have a job right now, but I'm always looking for good people. You want to talk?
Yeah.
Things like that.
I love that. And it's just you're using your observation skills to be like, all right, they've got it. Yeah. Um, well, let me ask you this. When you take applications, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So when you're sorting through the applicants, Oh, they told me there would be a fire drill.
That's all right.
Okay, when you're sorting through applicants, what makes one person rise to the top before the interview stage?
This is an evacuation. You're gonna have to leave all your things and exit the building.
All right.
Just call me on your phone. Call me on your phone.
Okay, we'll do that.
All right.
Okay, thanks.
You bet.
Think. All right, you told me about it.
Yep.
Hey, talk about chaos, right?
This is how life happens, man. You got to roll with the punches.
I know.
So
Oh,
you tell me, do you want to keep the conversation going now, or would it make more sense in 10, 15 minutes when you're back in front of your questions and all that?
it would. Do you know what? It would make more sense if I was there, just so I can keep it in order. But,
Sure. Yeah.
Well, tell me what you do for a job, and maybe the alarms will go off pretty soon. Tell me more about what you do.
So I have practiced law for just over a decade. I worked with a firm for the better part of a decade until I started my own practice about a year ago.
Okay.
I've hired people not just for the firm I used to work for, but I've hired obviously people for my own firm. I practice in the areas of accident and injury, as well as estate planning. I've had some monster success with cases, gratefully so. And it's been really fun becoming not just the lawyer, but the business owner. Because you kind of get bored of the law sometimes, and this is my outlet, so I can keep feeling like I'm progressing in life, because I can now learn all the things that it means to have a profit and loss statement, be the end all for my employees, have payroll, and have more risk. Where there's more risk, there's more reward.
Uh-huh.
And that's what's been exciting about the last year for me, is it's just learning the ropes of a business. And truth be told, I mean, the business of a law firm is probably in the top 5 of hardest businesses to I think, to run and run right. I mean, I think of things like, like a medical practice, there's so much to it. A law firm, there's so much to it. Like, it's not like they're selling widgets or, HVAC. I mean, even some of those trades are just far easier businesses to run. They have their own issues, but like a law firm, there's just so much. There's so much risk. Your processes and procedures have to be perfect. Anyway, so it's extremely stressful, but it's also very exciting.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this, because there's some of the questions I remember. Are there, so when we look at the interview stage,
Yeah.
when you got them there and you're in front of you, are there any qualities or skills that make someone stand out during the interview process, that is above and beyond what their resume and their qualifications are?
So I just tell people sometimes, like, don't be a weirdo. Like, to be honest, like, just don't be a weirdo. Like, talk to me like we've known each other for 10 years. Obviously, there's a level of respect on both ends. We can't just like, kick our feet up on the table and, talk like we've talked, since we were, kids or whatever, or like we've known each other since we were kids, but like, just don't be a weirdo, right? So, there's people who come in and they have like this perfect posture. They sit on the edge of their chair, hands folded, against each other nicely on the table. Like nobody sits like that. Like just be normal. I can appreciate. You know what I'm saying though? Like I can appreciate that.
No, it's funny because I've had multiple people that said the same thing. Now I loved how you used "don't be a weirdo," but they've said like we need you to be natural. Comfortable, authentic. So I love that.
Yep, that helps a lot. I don't mind. In fact, because it is more real, I don't mind when they take time to think about and chew on my questions that I'm asking them. It's no secret that, college students, as was I, were trained to like have the answers on the tip of our tongue.
Yeah.
And you know the questions that are coming before they come. And if you can make your answers seem less canned and more real, and one of those tricks is taking some time before you start answering. You can tell sometimes when people are like super excited, like, oh my gosh, I was ready for this question. Here we go. Right?
Yeah.
Just relax, right? No, I'm really looking for three things, I would say, generally speaking.
Okay.
The first is actually pretty shallow. And that is like, I say like, don't be a weirdo. I mean that both like in your personality and your appearance. And we don't like to, legally, of course, we don't like to profile people for any reason. But, if you come in and you've got, and this is a safe space, right? So, and
right.
You use this how you want, but like, if you walk in and you're obviously a dude, but you have rainbow hair and you're wearing an earring, like maybe that's good to work at Forever 21, but it's not good in a professional setting. It's just not. Right? Like strike one, and strike one is almost like strike three. Like you're done. Like no way. So, to the degree that people are, walking in wearing, anyway, I don't think that's as big of a deal, but I have had people do that. Like they come in and it's just like, wow, like I don't really care how great you are. I can't get over how you look, to be honest. Right?
Right.
So I don't think that's as big of a deal. I think people are smart enough to show, dressed well, all the things.
Yeah.
But I think that's mattering more and more these days because I think business is generally getting more and more laxed. I'm a lawyer and I'm not in a suit and tie right now, but at the same time I'm not like in a t-shirt and sweats. Anyway, so number one, how they look is important.
Okay.
Number two is personality. Can they just relate to people? Can they talk to people? Can they engage in a conversation? And then I think third, and in probably that order, to be honest, is competency. Like, are you smart enough? And we do have to judge people based on that.
Yeah.
But it's a very low threshold, and by that I mean you don't have to know anything about what I actually need you to do because I can train you more often than not, unless I need somebody to just jump in and do the work, right?
Right.
So, but I say I look more for intelligence and ability to learn something than I do actual competency in the field I need them to in the role that I need them to fill, because I can teach that.
Right.
But you can't teach somebody who's not smart something that's not easy.
Yeah.
So I'd say honestly those three things, and kind of in that order. Like number one, you got to overcome the appearance. Like, do you look like somebody I want to be around? Number two, can you communicate well? And number three, are you obviously smart enough to to learn what I want to teach you.
Okay, that's awesome. Well, here's a little follow-up question with that. Are there any skills or characteristics that separate employees who simply perform their jobs from those that are strong candidates for promotion?
Yeah. So I'm a firm believer in work-life balance, and I know that term doesn't even make sense in today's day and age. But I want to be able to trust my people, and I tell my people this all the time. I want to be able to trust you. And what that means is I'm not worried about you like taking an extra candy from the candy jar.
Right.
That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking like I don't really care how you get the work done, as long as you get it done when it needs to be done and how it needs to, and with good quality, right?
Right.
So I put a lot of autonomy, I hope I do, on my people, and I tell them, hey, here's what I need done. I need it done by this time. Whether that means you can get it done before noon, and then you want to go, on a walk or go out to lunch after that, or heck, leave the office half an hour early. I don't really care. Like, here's what I need done, and I need it done by this time. And if that also means that you have to forego, whatever it is, your massage at 6:30 in the evening because it didn't get done, then that's fine. Like, stay till 7 o'clock if you have to. So it's kind of like this major trust thing, right? And if they can check that box, and I get my work product back and it's timely, it's good.
Yeah.
Truth be told, I don't care if that means that they didn't have their butt in the chair for 8 hours a day. But if it didn't get done, then I kind of expect it to be there until it is done. So those types of people, right, who you don't have to babysit, who you can just trust, and they get the work done, it's good quality work. Those are the people that that rise above, and those are the people that you're looking at. Those are your top performers. Yeah.
Okay.
Because top performers, they know how to do it. They know what to do. I mean, sometimes they need some training and help, but they at least know how to get a task done, even if they don't necessarily know exactly what you want done. And you just let them go. Like, the more you micromanage people, I have found. I mean, I was that way, and it drove me crazy to have somebody micromanage me. I'm like, listen, I have these 50 things to do. I know how to get it all done. Leave me alone. So I try to leave my people alone. They come to me when they need me. But trust. I would say those that I can trust in all aspects are those that rise above.
I love that. Just to follow up with that one, then, are there any skill gaps? Oh, by the way, I'm back in the room. I don't know if you want to go face to face again, but I'm fine doing this as well.
Sure. Yeah, we can just stay this way. It's fine.
Okay.
It's easy enough.
Are there any skill gaps or that make you hesitant to hire someone even if they appear qualified? Well, because you mentioned the three things, but yeah.
The first thing that came to mind, actually, just speaking very basically, is unless they can work their way around a computer, there's no. I mean, you can learn it, but if you haven't learned it by that time, it's just going to be a pain in the butt for you and for everybody. Like, if we're having to teach you how to format a picture in the document, and if you can't figure that yourself, right? That tends to weed out some of those who are older. Now, obviously, you can't not hire somebody because of their age, right? But you can certainly not hire somebody because they don't have to work Microsoft Word, right? So I would say
yeah, if there's a gap in their ability to function within a software or a system, that would be difficult, right? I mean, it seems so basic and rudimentary, but yeah.
Yeah.
What else? Gaps, like back to that normalcy, not being a weirdo. Like if I find that you're having a hard time just having a conversation with a client, like you just don't speak well on the phone. I hired somebody, and she's not here right now, so I can talk openly, but like I dictated an email to her to send in a case, and I saw that the way she wrote it would be like how you might text message a friend. I mean, this is a professional email, right?
Right.
So and this person was smart, and I knew she was one of those that I wanted on my team, but I knew she was very young, but she was smart. So I said, okay, let's sit down and let's walk through this. Like, here's how a professional email looks. And we broke it out, and we did this, we formatted it, whatever. And she's been great ever since, because she learned it. She was smart. But like that could have been a deal breaker. Like, holy crud! Like, what are you doing? Like, this isn't text messaging. Basic proficiency gaps. I would say, honestly, a willingness not to do something.
Oh, what do you expand on that? What do you mean?
Yeah, so I might be the lawyer in the arrangement of the team, but I should be willing, not that I should have to do it, but I should be willing to make up the difference if, for example, my paralegal is out sick for the day, and I'm not below having to do what she would otherwise be doing for me. Like my front office person, part of her job is actually on Fridays, as she just did, is to go around the office and to take all the trash out, to sweep. Like, there's nothing below anybody. I still take out the garbage. I sweep. I wipe down desks. I stock the fridge if I see that it's empty. So I would say an unwillingness to do something means to me a more broad problem, which is, if you're not willing to do anything, then we don't want you. Like, we all have to be the jack of all trades with what is obviously our specific role, but we have to be willing to do anything.
Yeah.
I think that's I don't know. That's a tough question, but a good one.
Yeah. Okay, so are there any, speaking of gaps again, are there any qualities, behaviors, or gaps that prevent people from being promoted even when they're technically good at their job?
My first knee-jerk reaction to that question is no. But the next thought that came to mind was personalities, because I've worked with a lot of super smart, competent people who are just jerks, who belittle people around them. And this is probably, truth be told, is probably in the nature of, the likes of us lawyers and doctors who get these complexes sometimes that think we're, God's gift to man, which is stupid.
Yeah.
But I've worked with a lot of people like that. And that's a balance, because you really want them because they're super smart, they're competent, they're the person you want on your side when, crap hits the fan. But man, to get along with them sometimes is really tough. Would that prevent a promotion, so to speak? Maybe. I find that some people are better on an island by themselves than with other people. So if it's a promotion as it relates to managing more people, and there's higher risk that they're gonna, just make life miserable for everyone else, then the promotion may be a little bit different. It might be, let's keep them on an island.
Yeah.
So anyway, does that kind of make sense that I described?
Well, it does, because it's interesting because I'm noticing that there's a pattern with these interviews, because they want competent, confident people, but there's got to be like humility with it too, and just kindness. So there's like, what is the magic middle ground that are there? And I don't know how to answer that. Do you know what that answer is?
Well, a good answer, for example, I couldn't give you the question that this answer would link to, but a good answer it could be something like this in an interview. Hey, I've learned about myself that I can learn anything. I'm also willing to do anything and put the time in to make sure it's done right. I have every expectation that it's going to be like drinking from a fire hose, and I'm going to be overwhelmed. But I have every expectation that I can do it. And I don't let the stress of learning a new skill or a deadline affect how I interact with those around me. Mm-hmm. I recognize that, the people I'll be joining have been doing this far longer than I have, or if it's a lateral move, I recognize that there's the way that I've done things is not the only way to do things, and I'm always looking for the better, more efficient, faster, quality way to get something from point A to point B. So if you approach answers to questions like that, you just set yourself up like, holy crap, like this guy's got it, or this gal's got it. She can take anything. She's gonna get it done. She's not gonna ruffle feathers. In fact, she's probably gonna, be a good friend and make friends in the organization, because she knows that there's people here that have been doing things our way, and she's gonna be okay with that. So an answer like that is golden. Yeah. Assuming it comes not canned and is genuine and feels like it's something that's actually going to pan out. Right. That's like the golden answer. That's the golden answer. Yeah. It is, because it really says, all right, this is who I am and this is what I want. And really, and especially if they do it in a way that they're just being authentic, all of a sudden you're like, hey, you're on the team. I don't care what it is. I want you on my team. And that's kind of what I'm looking for right there. Yeah. And I forget why this acronym's coming to my mind, but I remember being told, like, always have a star story. I have no idea what that stands for. But I find those helpful too. Like, say what I just said. And I remember a time when I was overwhelmed. In fact, I was given this specific project, and you can go into as much or as little detail as you want. And here's how I did it. And here's how it turned out. And because of that, blah, 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 blah. Great. Interesting. And that's that star story thing has come up multiple times. And this is what it is, just so you know. S stands for situation, set the context, what's happening. T stands for task, what was your response and your challenge. A stands for action, what specific action did you take. And R stands for results, in other words, what happened because of your action. Whenever possible, include measurable results and stuff like that. But it's interesting that you're like the fifth person that has mentioned this STAR process. And I think you're right. If you are effectively telling your story, using the STAR method or whatever, but it's effective apparently because it stuck with you. Right. Yeah. That's interesting.
Well, I've got, let's see, I can't remember if I asked this question. Well, let me ask you this. Let me know if you're like, all right, yeah, we've asked that one. When you think about the people who are most successful in your organization or industry, what qualities or characteristics or skills do they consistently demonstrate?
They consistently demonstrate the ability to be taught only a few times. And I recognize that often it's not easy to pick it up the first time.
Right.
You have to do things 2 or 3 or 4 times. But if you're taught the same thing 10 to 15 times, that's not good. So I would say the ability to pick up things quickly. That doesn't mean immediately, it just means quickly.
Kind of kind of a catch on easily to, all right, that's how you do it.
Yeah, like I don't want to have to continue to remind you to do the same things that I've been reminding you for the last year. Right. Two, I had one employee in particular who was, I would say, average competent, and she produced good work. Mm-hmm. Not quickly, not like the best work, but it was good. It was good enough. But the energy that she brought to the office was so good that had lots of value. Like when she walked into the room, people were just excited to see her. And she struck a great balance between like being distracting and being just a good vibe. Like she wasn't one that would just like take 30 minutes, 5 minutes, an hour to tell a story and, detract everybody from what needed to get done. Mm-hmm. She just had good energy. And everybody was excited when she was, was around. And anyway, so I would say that's also one of those things, which is somebody that just people like to be around, that has good energy, that doesn't show up in, sunglasses because they didn't get enough sleep last night and they're pounding down a jug of coffee. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And they just, so somebody who has good energy, that's a big deal. Good energy. I mean, that sounds so esoteric and hippie-like, but I think you know what I mean.
I know exactly what you mean. Yep.
And then I would say somebody who's willing to help. I tend to feel like I have enough work myself for the likes of 17 people, but if I see that somebody, is got a deadline and, it would just be helpful if I grabbed that one thing and emailed it for them. Hey, can I email it for you? Or hey, do you need anything? So again, going back to that concept of being willing to do anything. Yeah. I think those are 3 pretty important things. Yeah.
That's awesome. This is great stuff. All right, I do have one more question for you. I hope you have time.
Yep, fire away.
This is to take you back to your 17-year-old self. Think about that and the acne and whatever you had back then.
Yeah.
If you were to advise your 17-year-old self who wants to be hired, be successful, eventually be promoted, and get to the top of their game, the it factor, right? What would you tell yourself to develop first and why?
To develop first?
Yep. Now, I know if I went back, I'd be like, all right, I've got a whole list of things that you suck at. But no, I want to know what you would say. This is the first thing that I want you to do.
Okay, this is what comes to mind.
Okay.
And I'll explain it. Make friends.
Okay.
And I say that because I think it captures a lot of what I'm talking about. Make friends because your network grows and your prospects grow for just a job or some experience. You make friends, the world is your oyster. Like my AC in my house just went out. I had 5 people I could call at the drop of a hat to give me a quote. Because I have 5 AC friends. Like,
Yeah.
what should I do, right? If my kid needs a prescription medication, I don't even have to go to the doctor's office anymore. I can save myself the time because I have 3 pediatricians who I can text on a drop of the hat and say, hey, my kid's got a fever. I know it's a ear infection. It's happened 100 times. Can you just call this prescription in for me? Thank you. Make friends.
I love that.
I think that also helps because the more friends you have, the more out there you are and becoming a better communicator, a better listener. You're learning how to juggle your problems and other people's problems. You just become a better overall communicator. You become empathetic. It's going to make you happier. People's friends are happier.
Mm-hmm.
So that goes to your good vibe. Like you can be around anybody and have fun.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think too. I don't know. I could probably give you more reasons why that comes to mind, but if I were to say, I would say make friends and make good friends.
Okay.
Like seek out the people you want to be like and do whatever they're doing. If you find that you've got a bunch of people you keep your eye on and they all mountain bike, go mountain biking. Be around and start to be like people you want to become. And I think it just happens. So I would say make friends. Make friends.
I love that. Okay, real quick, I've recorded part of this audio, especially that friend part. Can I use that in my classes?
Absolutely.
Okay. Awesome. Well, Trevor, honestly, I've learned a ton from you. I think this is going to advance my research really well. What can I do for you? I know you've taken time out of your day for me. Is there anything I can do for you?
Thanks for asking. I can't think of anything, but if ever you want any more like help, or if you're looking for like a guest speaker, I'm always looking for a chance to get out of Arizona.
Oh yeah.
I'll come up and I'll fly up and I'll do something. It'll be fun.
Okay. Well, that sounds awesome. What part of Arizona are you in?
We're in Mesa.
Okay.
And Mesa is a great place. It's just invite me in the summertime. I'll come to a summer class so I can come and that's what I'll do.
I know, because when I went and met with Braden, I was in Arizona. And,
Oh, you were?
Oh, sheesh. I'd call my wife and I was like, it's 105 down here. I don't know why I came during. It's so funny.
Yeah, I'm always looking to get involved and consistent with my theme of making friends. Like,
okay.
Please consider me a friend now. If you think there's anything else beyond even what the topic of this conversation's been that I can help with, then please, by all means, like anything. Yeah.
Okay.
And keep me in mind if ever you need if I can fill a role. I'm always looking to get involved and be a part of something bigger than myself. So
I love that. Real quick, and this has nothing to do with the interview and stuff. Where'd you go to school?
College, went to BYU undergrad in Provo, and then I did ASU law school.
I didn't go to BYU. I've kind of been a BYU Idaho guy, but I did look into going to ASU.
Heck yeah, man! It's a great school.
Yeah, it was good. I had a good communication program, and that was kind of what I was into back then. So.
Yeah, and this conversation's up my alley because my undergrad was in what was that called? Gosh, human resources and organizational behavior.
Yeah, org-com. Yeah.
Yeah, I love this.
That's awesome. Well, good. Well, Trevor, thanks again, and don't be surprised if I reach out to you. And if you're ever, I mean, here's an open invitation for you. If you're ever coming up to Island Park or going to Yellowstone and stuff, you drop me a line, and I will fill a room for you to talk, for students to talk to.
Oh, okay.
So I will get you on the list, and I'll beat the bushes and get my students there and all that stuff. So open
awesome.
Invitation.
Beautiful, friend.
Okay.
Well, it's great to talk to you.
It's good to talk to you. Thank you, and sorry about the chaos with the fire alarm and everything, but I think we were able to make it work. So
I think so. Awesome, brother. All right, Cal. We'll talk soon, Spencer.
Okay, see ya. Bye-bye.
Bye.
That was crazy.